viewers, and welcome to another edition of our women's program, Karimpe. Well, it is said that diet is one of the most important and significant aspects for the physical and mental development of any individual. I suppose keeping this in mind, the government of India has also given a lot of importance on diet, and every month, every year, in fact in the month of September, Poshan Abhiyan is observed in the month of September. A lot of focus is brought into the concept of diet, not just for individuals, but especially for adolescent girls, for lactating mothers, for pregnant mothers, as well as for children who are from 0 to 6 years of age. Well, this month brings to focus the importance, the necessity of correct diet, balanced diet, and nutritional aspect for the overall development and good health of all individuals. So we are gathered here in the studios once again to speak on the importance of Poshan or nutrition and how it aids and helps in the overall health and well-being of all individuals. And to talk about this today, we are being joined in the studios by Ibaridor Shlong. She is the Child Development Project Officer from Mauplang Block. We are also being joined by Nafi Sabha Lingdo Nongbri. She is a senior dietitian as well as a diabetes educator. And next to me, I'm being joined by Mary Yadaskem Warba. She is also a dietitian from Super Care Hospital here in Shillong. So these are our panelists, and we will be talking about the concept of the whole idea and the whole program of Poshan Abhiyan, and also along with it the importance of a good diet. Well, we will be doing that in a little while from now, but before that, let us go ahead and watch a video clip on this program.
The basic requirements for any human being on earth are food, clothing and housing. But the most important of all these is food. For any living being to live and thrive, food is the most basic necessity. That is why the government of India thought it fit to declare the month of September as Poshan Ma, or the month when nutrition is given importance. The women and mothers are the ones who look after the nutritional aspects of any household. So therefore, in order for the household to function and be healthy, it is the mothers and children who should have the most balanced and healthy diet. A child needs to grow up into a healthy adult, and this can only be achieved from the womb of its mother. It is therefore important that pregnant women and lactating mothers get the most nutrition in order that children grow up to become healthy adults. Let us listen in to the experts in this program who will speak on the importance of nutrition.
Poshan Abhiyan, launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development in 2018, aims to raise awareness and foster collaboration through Poshan Janandolans. Over the past 6 years, 12 Janandolans have taken place. The 7th Poshan Ma is from 1st to 30th September 2024, focusing on key issues to accelerate our progress towards Poshan Abhiyan's goals. Let's unite for a Suposhit Bharat.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and yes, so now that you've watched that video, I guess we are all ready to discuss this topic. So a very hearty welcome to each one of you to the studios of Doordarshan. Thank you so much for taking your time out and for being able to speak on this very important aspect, as I keep on stressing, that is Poshan, nutrition, and Abhiyan. Abhiyan means it is a community participation, right? So let me just bring in N.L. Nongbri and ask you, how do you look at this whole program that the government of India has kept aside an entire month of September in a year, and the focus is on nutrition? Why is nutrition so important?
So Poshan Abhiyan, and actually now this year it's celebrated as Poshan Ma.
Okay, yes.
Which is it is known as Nutrition Week
and
Nutrition Month of this month. So it is mainly to combat malnutrition, stunted growth, and complementary feeding to adolescent, and also to combat anemia, and then complementary feeding to children also in the age group of 0 to 6 years, and pregnant and lactating mothers.
Right.
And also it is known as, it is translated as Nutrition India, Educated India, and Empowered India. So.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just bring in Mary once again, since you are also a dietitian. How do you look into this? Is it necessary really to bring focus on nutritional aspects of individual, and that is why this month, the whole month of Poshan Ma of September, is so significant?
Yes, nutrition is the very most important thing in a person's life. Okay, see, like the first thing, right from birth till, like we call the geriatric period. Okay, means to old age.
Right.
So in every age group, proper diet should be maintained. Okay, because like we have different kinds of nutrients which is required for each groups. So especially for a child who is from 0 to 6 months, like pediatric children, so usually they are on breastfeeding. So the first main thing is the diet of the mother.
Okay.
If the mother eats well, then the child will be healthy. But if the mother doesn't have a proper nutrition, that will affect the health of the baby
as well,
in the long run also. Not only during the period of 0 to 6 months, but even in their future, that also will affect. Yes.
Yeah, that is a very significant point, isn't it? Because you know, we think that diet is only temporary, but it can have a very long-term impact. The wrong diet, that is, on the development and growth of the child as well. I bring you Ibaridor. You are, of course, you know, a child development project officer in one of the blocks here in Meghalaya, that is in Mawplang. Tell us a little bit about your role.
So the role of a CDPO. So our role is basically, since you've been talking about Poshan Ma or the Poshan month, so and from our department itself and also from the Ministry of Women and Child Development, we are actually celebrating the Poshan month. It's a month-long campaign.
Right.
So each and every day we have activities, different activities. The purpose of Poshan Abhiyan, as Madam has rightly said, that our focus is basically, we say the 1000 days, which is a very crucial period. That 1000 days means from the date of conception to the 9 months, the duration of 9 months, which means the mothers who are pregnant, then continue to the period of the childbirth to 6 months, and 6 months to 2 years. So our focus of Poshan Abhiyan is this. So we want to bring about a change in the community, like Madam, she was saying, like, because the nutrition of the mother is very, very important. It's a cycle. If the mother is not healthy, definitely the baby also will not be healthy. So the major focus of Poshan month is this: we want to reduce stunting, we want to reduce or to combat malnourishment in our state and the country as a whole. So if we look at the data of Meghalaya, if we compare stunting with the national percentage, so as per the National Family Health Survey, Meghalaya it comes to 46%, whereas India is 35. So we are higher, much higher. Then another category of undernutrition is wasting. So Meghalaya stands at 12%, India 19%. So similarly with the pregnant mothers, the anemia, well, like Madam she was saying, anemic in pregnant mothers around 45%, and India is 55. This is as per. So we can see that these figures are quite alarming.
Yes, quite alarming. Actually quite alarming. Right. So I bring in Nongbri once again. So which are the areas that we are actually doing wrong? Like, in which of the areas when it comes to our diet, the people here are not doing the correct things what they should be doing for themselves?
It's from the before birth only, from conception only. The mother is not well fed. She's not given the right nutrition. She's not eating nutritious food, and especially in the rural areas, they are ignorant. They don't know what to eat. Even those the supply which they have in their place, also they would rather sell it instead of eating and being healthy. Okay, so that is mainly it's ignorant and awareness, lack of awareness. So
is poverty also linked
poverty,
to it? Yeah?
yes.
Because you
Poverty.
said they would prefer to sell it
Yes.
to earn than to feed themselves. So I
feed
think there's an
themselves.
economic aspect of it also. Right,
yes.
right.
I would like to add to that point, like, because being in the field, so of course, like mothers or families, they are somewhat aware. Okay, so but it's the food habits, you know, it's the food habits that to bring about a behavior change in them, it takes a lot of time. We have been trying to do that. Like, we go to the communities to explain, not only through awareness, we do have home visits, we do counseling. So, but then like, they prefer eating just rice and potatoes, which is only
Starch.
And rice with red tea also.
carbohydrates and like less of proteins and all these things. So we try to explain, like, you know, in terms of their plate should be more colorful, so that they should have more variety of vitamins and nutrients and all that is required. So what our government is trying to do is we're trying to teach them through the field functionaries. We have Aganwadi, we have Ashas, now we have the SHGs from the a convergence program of all the lines departments, social welfare, health, as well as the community and rural development. We are trying to reach out to the villages to explain to them, like, you know, we want to bring the right diet, the right diet intake, because right now we see most of them, they prefer having only carbohydrates.
So when you go to them, what is it that you face? Like, do you face some kind of negative vibes from them, that they don't want to listen to you, that they feel that they already know what they know and they don't really want to obey what you have to say actually?
Some of them, they do accept. Some of them we do see a little bit of change, like, you know, because behavior change takes a lot of time, like I've said earlier. So they will change gradually,
because
but like
if we can now discuss a little bit about, if you can just continue.
This has been going on for
many years,
centuries,
decades actually.
hereditary. No?
Right.
The way we eat, we cannot change. We cannot change overnight. Like, if we go and teach them, they'll not listen. It'll take time, because they have been
conditioned. Their mind is conditioned to think what they think is right.
Right. Yes. So they cannot change easily, because it has been come down from generation to generation.
Okay. And Ibaridor, if you can tell us also, which are some of the programs that the government is specially implementing here in the state of Meghalaya?
Okay, so like to focus on the life of the children as well as the mothers, so the rescue mission is there, which has been there for quite some time, 4 years now. So that is basically reviewing or having a monthly review from the government of Meghalaya to all lines departments who work in close connection with the children and mothers. So one is that in terms of to monitor, like, you know, what is the status, the institutional delivery, what is the status of the infant mortality rate, in order to curb, because these are all related.
Technology is also being used these days, isn't it?
Yes. So one does that. Then the other, recently we also have the human development, block human development team, where the Department of Health, Community and Rural Development, as well as Social Welfare, we're trying to reach out the unreached, which means the hard to reach villages. So the team have been started this in every block since the month of July this year. So we go and reach out to the unreached, which means those places where it's not motorable. We go for counseling. We have a one-to-one interaction with with the family. So that is going on currently. We also have the ECD mission, the Early Childhood Development Mission, which was started in the year 22. So this is also focused on the early childhood development in terms of nutrition, health care practices, as well as to...
And the focus here is only for mothers, or is it for
children
for
as
women? for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like anemia, when we look at, we don't look only at the pregnant mothers. Because if we look at the data, like I've said, it's 45% anemic. So we focus on adolescents as well as women.
Okay, so these are some of the government programs that is being implemented. You all are trying your best to do, reaching out to them as well. So when do we come? When we again bring you in, Mary, when we are talking about diet, what is a good diet?
Yeah,
what should we be eating every single day?
Yeah, see, like for diet, most of the people used to get very confused. Okay, so what they do is like, okay, for like I have told before, for different age group, we have the different specific nutrients which should be taken in more amount. Okay, so like especially like for for lactating mothers, they have to eat like normal diet, but they have to increase a bit of the protein intake so that it will help for the baby's weight. Okay, to maintain the normal weight of the baby, which won't affect during the delivery. So usually then for the newborn, so newborn usually from 0 to 6 months only breastfeeding. Okay, no other food to be given
because
to
the mother's milk has all the nutrition.
Yes, so that's why the mother, right from the time of conceiving till the time the mother is breastfeeding, she should eat healthy. Okay, so usually we used to advise, like in the normally we used to advise the mother to eat a healthy food which is nutritious, and usually they should increase, like even during the breastfeeding period also, the protein intake should be include more. So especially we used to like if we get some rural areas patient, so when we ask them, so usually they'll take, if we ask the diet that they are taking, usually they ask them will they eat potato, rice and dal.
Lack of proteins. And
protein,
the
very
dal is also not really,
and dal also
doesn't have too many legumes in it. You know, it is quite
watery.
But there are many other sources which is easily available. Okay, like even like, suppose in rural areas they are difficult to get meat product which is high in protein, but there are also some other sources which they can include. Okay, so usually legumes, pulses and legumes, that even the cost also is not high as compared to the meat product. So soybean, Nutrella in local terms, so Nutrella also is very good, very high in protein, so that they can include. So if we can educate them, then even the availability of food also it's there, so obviously they can consume that. So and even for then even for the baby, the child who is from 6 years to from 6 months, from 6 months. So from that time they can start the complementary diet. Okay, so complementary diet means semi-solid food. Okay, firstly they can introduce like kind of soup or some mashed food like mashed potato, mashed carrot, or any mashed vegetables which is soft. Then even, but during the 6 month also they can start the complementary diet, but not in a very large amount. Okay, so at least we should advise them at least twice in a day in less amount, but along with the breastfeeding. Okay, so that's why the mother should eat healthy, because what the mother is eating will go to the baby.
That's so
true. But if the mother doesn't eat a proper nutrition, then the health of the baby, it won't be proper, right?
And that is why I think sometimes we see a lot of stuntedness is noticeable here, right? I mean, some areas, in fact, I personally have seen a lot of, so that is directly linked to the diet.
Like the Bakardor said, in our state, 12.1% of stunted children.
No, 45. 46, stunting, wasting is...
Wasting is 12.1.
Okay. 46% of stunting is
quite high,
very high. Very high,
And the thing is, like, you know, like the perception of the community is like, we generally Khasis, we are like short in height. But actually the main reason is that because probably like in the earlier years, the intake of the food habits that we have, it's not adequate, so which results to. So we're trying to educate the mothers, educate the families, and also from the government, we also have the village health councils where like the Rangbach, you know, all the headmen are also members. Then each one member of every household will be part of the community, so that they are educated about all these things.
That is very important, right? And that is why it is called Jan Andolan. Means how the community can, community can play a role together, and that's why all these departments are, many of them actually come together also to implement some of these programs, right? But then which are some of the common problems that this state faces, especially the children of today, the adolescents of today, because you are also dealing, you're a diabetes educator, right? And that is also health related issue, right? Yeah, and it is also something to do with the way we lifestyle disease, they say. Can you just talk about it a bit
So
quickly?
in urban areas, it has changed the trend from communicable diseases to diet related disorders, namely cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and then overweight, obese. So you could see now with the youths, because they are not eating healthy foods, they are more of their diet
food,
consists
right?
more of
fast food, take
fats
food.
and carbohydrates. So they are not like, this will eventually lead, because of their weight, will eventually lead to diabetes and maybe cancer.
Right, right. And we do see certain cases of diabetes even happening to children these days,
Yes,
because of
right.
the wrong food intake and the wrong diet that they. And I think in this regard, Nafisaba, would you say that parents also needs to be educated? Because sometimes in a hurry to pack their tiffin, they just pack whatever, or they give money to the child to eat out,
Yes.
during lunchtime. How important is healthy meal that is cooked from the home?
Yes, parents plays an important part in the nutrition requirement of the child, because they need to prepare good food, and then they need to pack good nutrition, balanced diet to the child. Because in some cases, like they've seen that the tiffin of the child consists of rice and potato chips, which is very unhealthy. So they need to add, they need to know that they have to provide the child with good nutrition, like vegetables. They can add some vegetables, pulses, and then maybe non-vegetarian, they can have egg or fish or chicken. So that is there, because without only carbohydrate and fats will not be sufficient to provide all the requirement of the body.
Right.
So
and out here I've seen that people really enjoy doing a flower garden. Every home has a beautiful garden of flowers. Why not make kitchen garden a part of one's home?
Yes.
Any quick thought on this?
Yeah, the kitchen garden, it's very beneficial. Okay, because from there is no added chemicals.
Right.
Okay, what they get is fresh, and which is very nutritious. So I guess it's a good example for, especially for those mothers or any parents who are
worried about buying from outside the market,
buying from outside market.
Adulterated,
So if they are more interested in gardening, like instead of flowers, so that is a good choice.
You can also do some.
As part of the activity of the Poshan month or the nutrition month, like kitchen garden is one of the activity where they can set up a kitchen garden in the Anganwadi centers, and even from the Department of Horti and Agri also, they've given some saplings so that they can grow these. And the same can be fed.
also.
All organic,
Organic also. Yet, despite all this effort, things are not really going. Though this program began, I think, since 2018, right?
Yes, correct.
The Poshan Abhiyan program since 2018, and we have come a few, about 5+ years now. And how has the progress been so far? You people think, like, as a dietitian, as a government official working in the field, are people now more receptive to these ideas? Receptive, are they accepting these new ways of lifestyle?
In terms of acceptance, like I said, like we from the very beginning we've mentioned, like behavior change. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, but we do try to communicate to them. We do try to educate them. Some areas, yes. Some areas, yes. Like we've started teaching the mothers, though they are poor, but you can see that, you know, even immediately after the school hours, they do have some 10 rupees or 5 rupees to buy those packets, food, like chips and all that, which is, like I used to tell mothers in the community, if you have this much of money, where, you know, even in the remote areas, if you see, they have money, 5 or 10 rupees. So why not buy foods? Why not buy vegetables, right? Instead of that, if they accumulate that money, I think it will definitely, like, you know, change in there. It's probably, it's like we really need to make them understand. We like, you know, sometimes it's really difficult to make them understand. We try.
As she said, that it is, they already have a preconceived mindset, and it takes time for these behaviors to change, because we all, I think, who are in this field are trying to change, bring in a behavioral change, and that will
depends on individuals. Some individuals,
but yes, to some extent, maybe it has changed. Like when we look at the like, see, earlier we all know only underweight. We are not aware of stunting. We're not aware of wasting. So, but now the community gradually have started to understand
these concepts,
all these concepts. So,
but I think, you know, programs such as this, that the focus is brought to nutrition. This is so important. I mean, an entire month is given out to this, you know, to create awareness. And yes, awareness will definitely bring in the change in the long run. Quickly, as we are wrapping up, Kong Nongbri, what would be your closing comments, you know, to all the viewers who are watching this program? Being a dietitian yourself and also a diabetes educator, quick words of wisdom to all the viewers.
So I would like to say that they should be careful with what they eat. It's not that they just feed themselves because they are hungry. They need to understand that they have some knowledge about the importance of food and what to eat to make themselves healthy, to stay healthy, to stay fit, and to not to be like to make themselves resistant to diseases.
Yeah, because
and
nutrition
then to
also
fight
builds
diseases.
your you know, immunity too, right? Quickly, Mary, before we close, just a word on tobacco use, because I think that also is a lot of focus, because tobacco is also very rampantly being used in the rural areas. Quick word on this before we close.
See, like we all know, I think so, everywhere we go, we used to see no smoking, no tobacco, no alcohol. So once we see no, means we know that it is not healthy. Okay. So see, if we consume so much of tobacco, so eventually in this generation, very high rate of cancer. So I think so, even in cigarette packet or anyway, see, smoking is injurious, so causes cancer. So that every time whoever smoke or whoever is taking tobacco, they should read the packet. They should see,
it does make sense, right?
It does make sense.
Otherwise it wouldn't have been written. So on the whole, what we understand that yes, efforts on the ground are definitely going on, and awareness has been created, but more has to be done, I guess, and a behavioral change, as you all said, needs time to come about, right? But we are hopeful that such programs, such as the Poshan Abhiyan and the Poshan Ma, will definitely help, you know, towards building up that awareness and bringing in that significant change that we are looking into, especially when it comes to, you know, achieving the balanced diet for all the people, not just children or mothers, but every individual in the society. On that note, thank you so much, Mary Yadaskem Varba. I also would like to thank Nafi Sabha Lingdor Nongbri for coming to our studio, and not to forget Ibaridor Shlong for the Child Development Project Officer for coming to the studios of Doordarshan and enlightening all our viewers and all of us about the crucial importance of maintaining a balanced diet and of good nutrition. Thank you so much. Well then, my dear viewers, that was a discussion that we just had on the importance of nutrition and healthy eating habits. I hope you've got plenty of plenty of good information from this, and you will also abide and follow some of these wise wisdom that has been given to you once again through this program. From all of us here for the moment is wishing you goodbye.